Hello everyone, welcome back to Pixel Village and I'm Radhakrishanan. We at Pixel Village are constantly on the lookout for high quality, affordable range of photography products. In this video, we're going to introduce to you such a product. Well, what is that? Let me tell you. It was not so long ago that this Chinese manufacturer Godox introduced us to the world of battery operated affordable flashes. In the early 2016, they introduced us the AD600. It was a runaway hit among the photographers. In 2017, they introduced us to AD400. The AD400 was an even bigger success because it packed so much power into such a small form factor, and they made it available to you at a fraction of a cost of, let's say, a branded camera-mounted flash. And they sold them in truckloads. Then came the Pro range from Godox. AD400 Pro was the first one they introduced us, which basically was the AD600 but in a completely redesigned, repackaged form. It offered us better quality, better stability, and all those things that AD600 offered and more. Now they are introducing us to the new one in their Pro range of flashes. And here it is, the AD400 Pro. The AD400 Pro. Let's take it out. Hey guys, what happened? Bring me back in here. Oh, finally. Sorry about that. Technical glitch. Anyway, it's a nice carry case. Let me open it up. Let me see what it is. Nice. Very well packed. I'm sure you can see what is inside. This is the AD400 Pro. The battery. It's got newly designed flash tube with a protective cover and a frosted glass in front, and very nicely packaged into a laser cut compartment. Let's take the flash unit out. Okay, this is an exact replica, a reduced size replica of the AD600 Pro. Let me put the battery on, clicks in place. Along with the battery, it weighs much less than the AD600 Pro, as I remember using the AD600 Pro. But to the AD200 users, let me tell you, it is a little more heavier. Let me open the reflector cap. Very well made, solid reflector cap. And this is the newly designed, a smaller reflector. So there is a release button here to release it. If you want to build a system entirely based on AD400 Pro, then you can buy accessories for the new mount. But if you are someone who already has other Godox products like the 600 or the 600B or LN Chrome or a Bronze Color or a Pro Photo, they have provided this adapter, which means when you buy the product, you can specify the adapter that you want to have. Now this one is a Bowen's adapter. It goes in, clicks in place, but to hold it in place, you need to use a set of screws and screw them in place. A little laborious, but once it is done, it stays in place. I usually don't mount the flash tube with bare hands. I use either a hand key or a tissue. This will go only in one way. Okay, now it's in place. Let me power it on, switch it on, rotate it full one circle to activate the flash. Well, everything else is something that you already know. If you are not familiar with the menus, please watch our video on AD600 Pro, and we have explained the menus in detail in that video. We will add a link in the description. Okay, I wouldn't advise you to regularly remove and fix this adapter ring. Instead, what I would recommend is get yourself a AD600 or a 600 Pro's protective cover, something like this, and let this mount be on the body always. So this cap protects your flash tube from any accidental damage. And the reduced size of the AD400 Pro along with its reduced weight makes this an extremely portable, mobile, professional flash unit which you can carry on location and shoot with it. According to me, there are more than one way to pack the AD400. One is to carry in the original carry bag that it comes with, or because of its small size, the AD400 Pro can go into your camera bag along with the AD200 and a camera and couple of other lenses, which makes it extremely easy to carry and shoot on location. And now I have one hand free. If I want to carry a tripod or something else, I can use this hand. And this is my octagonal softbox with the boom stand inside. Well, in this case, I can actually sneak it into the cabin. It will be a little more heavier than what the airlines allow in the cabin, but you can sneak it in, I'm sure. So, you know, if you have a day's job, you want to leave in the morning, come back in the evening, well, maybe you don't have to check anything in. So this would be the second way to pack the AD400 for the location shoot. Now here we have our beautiful Aishwarya here. We're trying to take a shot with daylight and a mixed in flash. Okay. Move slightly away. Ready? So here we are trying another situation here. Aishwarya has changed and she's back in light clothes now. We have a deeper background. What we're going to do is to use the AD400 Pro and light her up and isolate the backdrop. In the sense, background will be black. Okay, take a look at it. It'll look very nice in black and white. Okay, we are back in the studio. During the shoot itself, we were so happy to see those images on the LCD monitor. And looking at them in full screen, in big size, we are even happier. So before I explain the images or show them to you, let me tell you, TTL and HSS, they are a boon to the photographer, but they are not magic. You need to very cleverly, very intelligently use them to your creative advantage. When you work with any Godox flashes, you can either use the X1 or the X Pro to do the TTL metering and triggering and controlling them remotely. We used an X Pro to work with the AD400 Pro. Okay, now look at this image. Evening, it's about 5:30-ish, sun is reasonably bright. This shot is without any flash. So when you look at it, Well, it's a nicely exposed image. The background is well exposed, but the face is not lit. Face is in a little bit of a shadow. To enhance the glamour, we wanted to use a flash. Of course, we used the AD400 Pro with an octagonal softbox. Now, we used a spot metering because what we were worried about is only the skin. So I took a spot metering from her skin, and which in turn will trigger and tell the flash to kind of give the output in a particular fashion. Now look at the first one. So let me show you the tools. Now in the tools I can see, now this one is shot at 1/500th of a second and f2.8 and with the first flash. So because I'm working at 1/500th of a second, obviously I need to activate the HSS function. Now use the trigger and remotely activate the HSS function. First shot is fired, and as you can see, it is overexposed. Like I said, the flash thought that it requires an X amount of light, which actually is a little more than what is actually required. Now when you see that, you start compensating for it either in your camera or in your TTL trigger. So I have reduced it a little in the trigger. So for the next image, we underexposed the flash. Now the next one is an underexposed shot. It will happen through a series of corrections. It may not happen immediately. To get that right balance, you may have to work a little bit with the TTL flash, either increase or reduce the flash output. Now we reduced it. At 2/3 reduction, we got a perfect balance between the daylight and the flashlight. We will bring to you the retouched image later at the end of this presentation. It's being done now. Of course, this is the full length. You can see how that flash was working. Now, the other advantage of using an HSS is you can actually control the brightness of the background of the subject. You can either make it darker or make it equal or make it brighter than the subject itself. So obviously, if you increase the shutter speed, the background is going to be darker. Here in this case, I switched to 1/1250th of a second, and the background became darker, and you can see it. Of course, we slightly moved away a little, so it's not exactly the same location where we did the first shot. Now look at the next one. Here I reduced the shutter speed, so we are working at 1/320th of a second, and you can see the background is now bright, but the flash is still going by your aperture reading, and it's giving you just the required amount of flash after the compensation is decided. Now let me go to the next image. Now here, look at this one. We moved into the shadow. The sun probably is set. So we use this octagonal softbox with the grid in front so that the light doesn't spill anywhere else and capture this full glamorous shot. This is another image that we really liked. With a little bit of tuning, fine tuning, we got something like this, which we really liked. Okay, by then the sun is set. As you can see from the corner of the frame, the sun is set. We moved indoors, and we had this fantastic house to ourselves thanks to some of our generous friends. Ambient light. This is what we got in the ambient light. By the way, this is a typical situation that a wedding photographer might face in a hotel room or a lobby or in the bride or bridegroom's home. Everything else will be perfect except the light. So we pulled out the AD400 Pro, fixed the octagonal softbox with the grid because we didn't want the light to spill anywhere else, and we took the first shot. Well, the first set of flashes were fired, and we got a well-balanced image. As you can see here, of course, I may have to bring the shadow up a bit. If I increase the shadow, this one is a nice, interesting image. Okay, but you still will agree you're missing a nice, interesting, the daylight is missing here. So we reached out for the AD200, which we carried. You saw them while we were packing it. Well, Prashant ran to the balcony. From there, we started firing. Now, The AD200 was in manual mode and I was controlling it from the X Pro. The AD400 Pro was in TTL mode. And of course, HSS wasn't required because the shutter speed was way below the sync speed. We were working at 1/60th of a second because we wanted to capture the ambient light too. So the first flash was fired with the AD200 at full power, and this is what happened. Filled the room with the ambient light. It even started bouncing back to her face, overpowering the AD400. Now you need to start fine-tuning that light. So through a series of steps, we finally arrived here. And as you can see, it's a nice, interesting, clean image. Now we know that it is night, but not many people who are looking at this image know what we did here. So a compact setup, an AD200 along with the AD400 Pro created this interesting image here. We also shot a couple of close-ups. From the close-ups, you can't even figure out whether it was, night or was it day. Obviously, this looked like a daylight with a fill flash. That was the day out with the AD400 Pro. So now take a look at the finished images. Retouched and finished is done by our friend Akhil Narayan. Pixel Viilage would like to thank him for his service, and he's a fantastic guy. You can reach out to him for a digital retouching service. And another interesting service that we found while transferring all these files to Akhil was another file transfer service. Smash is a new, innovative and unique digital content service originally designed for photographers and creatives. This interactive service allows recipients from any device to view photos, listen to music, watch videos, and read documents even before downloading them. It says, "Welcome to Smash, send with no size limits, files available up to 14 days, no registration, and it's free." Click on Agree, and now you're straight away ready to send your files. Just click here, select your target file, no folders allowed, only files, drop them in here, choose, and when you're ready, this is a place for your sender's email ID. This is yours, and send a short message and hit Smash and it'll be gone. Smash also has a premium service, very affordable, and with lots of added features. And from now onwards, we're going to be on Smash. Will you be? So, whom is this AD400 Pro targeted at? Well, it is aimed at anyone who wants to own a good quality, affordable, well-made flash. Well, when it comes to affordability, I must tell you that the AD400 Pro is priced a little above the regular range of Godox flashes, because this is from the Pro family of Godox flashes. AD600 Pro is currently their most expensive flash, followed up by the AD600 and 200, etc. But this is priced above the 600. So the natural doubt is that, at this money, I would rather buy the AD600, which is more powerful. But there is a small difference in the Pro range and the regular range of Godox flashes. Like, if I have to give you an example, it's like the cars, the automobiles. Certain brands have a premium range of vehicles, and similar vehicles are available even in their economy vehicles, branded differently. If you have to buy a hatchback from their luxury segment, you will probably end up paying more than what you would pay for a premium sedan from their other range of products. The Godox's Pro range of flashes, currently there are only two, the 600 Pro and the 400 Pro, uses better quality components. They are made under very strict quality standards and they deliver great efficiency too. Well, purely because of that, in case if you need to add an AD400 Pro to your battery of flashes, well, you tend to spend a little more than what you would spend for a 600B or 600E, which is their regular range of flashes, which actually is a little more powerful. To me, portability is the key feature. So if you are someone who's looking for a very high quality portable flash which offers great quality at an affordable price, then AD400 Pro is probably the flash that you should consider. One, if you are a wedding photographer who uses AD200s regularly and want to move up the ladder but still don't want to carry the AD600 or AD600 Pro because they are heavier and takes more time to set up because it requires stands and it's not possible to hold it up on a boom stand, well then AD400 Pro is for you. And if you are a Broncolor, a Pro Photo user and don't want to spend those tons of money and want to add an equally efficient flash into your system, AD400 Pro is possibly an option to you because it offers an attachment using which you can use all your Broncolor Pro Photo light shaping tools to it. So I think I presented it to you in the most neutral way as possible. Rest is up to you. Bye for now.